You know what? Every morning when that alarm goes off, you get two choices. You can hit snooze or roll over and keep dreaming, or you can get up and chase that dream, because life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't slow down for your excuses. It moves, with or without you. Most people, they don't fail because they don't have talent. They fail because they never use what they have. They keep waiting for the perfect time, the perfect feeling, the perfect moment, but that moment never comes. Listen, you don't need everything to be perfect to start improving your life. You just need to start. You just need to take one small step today. See success. It's not about luck or magic or someone handing you a chance. It's about the daily things you do when no one's looking, the quiet habits, the small wins, the moments of self-discipline that nobody claps for. That's where greatness begins. That's where your new life starts. So today I want you to stop waiting for change and start becoming it. Because every single day, you're either improving or you're staying the same. And I promise you this, staying the same is the fastest way to lose yourself. You know, there comes a moment in life when you stop blaming everything around you and finally look in the mirror. That's the moment everything changes. That's the moment you realize the truth. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to wake you up in the morning. Nobody's going to fix your mindset. And nobody's going to build your dreams for you. That's your job. That's your responsibility. See, a lot of people wait for motivation. They wait for some sign from the universe, something big and dramatic to shake their life up. But here's the truth. Life doesn't send you a sign. It sends you opportunities, disguised as ordinary days. You wake up, you've got 24 hours in your hands, and what you do with that time determines who you become. That's not fate, that's discipline. That's not luck, that's consistency. I learned something powerful. If you want to change your life, you have to start with the small daily things. The things you think don't matter. Because that's where your future is hiding. Every decision, every habit, I'll do it later. That's shaping your tomorrow. You want to know why most people stay stuck? It's because they're living the same day over and over again, calling it a life. They say they want success, but they keep doing the same things that keep them average. They say they want change, but they never change their routine. They want peace, but they keep feeding their mind chaos, and then they wonder why nothing feels different. But here's the truth. You can't plant negativity and expect to harvest peace. You can't feed your body junk and expect energy. You can't surround yourself with lazy people and expect ambition. Life doesn't work like that. You get what you give. You attract what you are. You build what you believe in. Every single person has the power to shift their life, but most won't, because it requires one uncomfortable thing: honesty. You've got to be honest with yourself about your habits, your mindset, your effort. You've got to stop pretending that you're trying when deep down, you know you're playing safe. The truth hurts, but it also heals. The moment you face it, you start to grow. You see, improvement doesn't happen in one grand moment. It's built in silence, in the daily grind, in those invisible battles you fight every day. It's saying no to the distractions, yes to the discipline. It's waking up early even when you're tired. It's working on your dream when everyone else is resting. It's forgiving yourself for your past, but not allowing it to define your future. And that's the thing most people don't understand. Growth feels lonely. It feels uncomfortable. You'll lose people. You'll outgrow places. You'll be misunderstood. But that's the price of becoming better. The higher you climb, the quieter it gets, because not everyone is built for that altitude. Some people were only meant to be part of your journey, not your destination. Let me tell you something real. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have discipline, you'll waste it. You can have all the dreams, but if you don't have daily action, they'll die where they started, in your head. The people who win, they're not always the most gifted. They're just the ones who stayed consistent when everyone else quit. When you start improving the small things in your life, your mindset, your attitude, your discipline, everything begins to shift. You start seeing progress, not because the world changed, but because you did. The way you think changes the way you move. The way you move changes the way life responds to you. You become magnetic, focused, unstoppable. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow? How many times have you promised yourself that this time will be different, and then slip back into old habits? That's not weakness, that's just human nature. But here's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. The ones who make it stop negotiating with themselves. They stop waiting for the perfect feeling to act. They act even when they don't feel like it. Every small thing you improve in your life adds up. You might not notice it day to day, but over time, it becomes visible. That extra hour you spend learning, that small habit of gratitude, that one workout, that one decision to say no to negativity, it's all compounding. And one day you wake up and realize you're not the same person you were. You think clearer, you move differently, you carry yourself with quiet confidence. That's the reward of small, consistent improvement. But don't get it twisted. Improvement doesn't mean perfection. You'll mess up, you'll fall, you'll lose focus. That's part of the process. The key is not to stay down. Learn from it, get back up, keep going. Because every time you rise, you build character. Every time you push through, you strengthen your spirit. Look, every single day is a test. And the question life asks you is simple: how bad do you want it? Do you want it enough to change your habits? Do you want it enough to silence your excuses? Do you want it enough to show up even when you don't feel like it? If you do, then stop talking about change and start living it. Be intentional with your mornings. Guard your mind like it's gold. Treat your goals like promises you made to your future self. Because the truth is, nobody's going to do it for you. You have to want it. You have to build it. You have to live it. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be better than yesterday. That's it. Just one step forward. That's how empires are built. One brick at a time. One choice at a time. One day at a time. And when you look back a year from now, you'll see the difference. You'll realize that while everyone else was making excuses, you were building yourself. You were improving, not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. Because deep down, you knew something powerful. Nobody can stop a person who decides to keep growing. So if you want to improve your life, don't wait for the perfect plan. Start with the small things. Start with your thoughts. Start with your habits. Start today. Because your life won't change by accident. It'll change when you do. You know, everybody wants success until they meet the struggle. Everybody talks about greatness like it's some kind of easy path, like it's just motivation and dreams. But let me tell you something. Real growth, real success, it's not built in comfort. It's built in the moments that test you, the moments that break you down and ask, are you still willing to keep going? That's where the difference is made. See, life is going to hit you hard. Sometimes it's going to knock the wind out of you, leave you staring at the ceiling, wondering why things had to happen that way. Maybe you gave your all and it still wasn't enough. Maybe you believed in someone who gave up on you. Maybe you worked harder than ever and still didn't see the results you hoped for. That's the part of the journey nobody talks about. The quiet pain, the frustration, the long nights where doubt feels louder than hope. But listen, those moments, they're necessary because the struggle doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to develop you. It shapes your character. It strengthens your spirit. It teaches you who you are when nobody's watching. It's easy to stay motivated when life is going right. But can you stay disciplined when everything falls apart? Can you keep believing when the world gives you every reason not to? That's the real test. Most people quit not because they don't have talent, but because they can't handle the waiting. They can't handle the silence. The world makes them believe that if they're not winning fast, they're failing. But let me tell you, slow progress is still progress. The seed doesn't grow the day you plant it. It takes time, patience, and faith. You've got to trust that your effort, your sacrifice, your long nights, they're all leading somewhere. There will be days when it feels like nobody sees your effort. Days when your work goes unnoticed. But you've got to keep going anyway. Because you're not doing it for validation, you're doing it for transformation. Every bit of struggle you face is teaching you discipline. It's teaching you how to control your emotions, how to keep your focus when everything tries to distract you. That's the gift of hardship. It builds strength you can't fake. I've seen people who had everything handed to them, and they crumble at the first sign of trouble. And then I've seen people who came from nothing, who had to fight for every inch of progress, and those are the ones who rise. Because they've been tested. They've been through the fire. And fire doesn't destroy gold, it purifies it. You can't shine until you've been burned a little. Sometimes the struggle isn't external. It's in your own head. That inner voice that says, you're not good enough. You're not making progress. You're wasting your time. That voice is powerful and it's dangerous, but you've got to learn to talk back to it. You've got to remind yourself who you are, what you've survived, and why you started. Because if you don't control your mind will control you. You've got to build mental toughness. Discipline isn't just about doing the work. It's about doing it without emotion, whether you feel like it or not. Whether you're tired, discouraged, or scared, winners do what they have to do even when they don't feel like doing it. That's how you separate yourself from the crowd. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who dreamed of becoming successful. He worked hard every day, but for years, nothing happened. He watched others rise faster than him. He questioned himself, he doubted, but he never stopped. One day, after years of struggle, he finally made it. Someone asked him, "What kept you going all those years when nothing was working?" He said, "Because quitting never got me closer to anything." And that's it. You keep going not because it's easy, but because quitting doesn't build anything. When you're in the middle of your struggle, it's hard to see the purpose behind it. It feels unfair. It feels endless. But later, when you make it out, you'll look back and realize every difficulty was necessary. Every disappointment was protection. Every delay was preparation. Sometimes God doesn't give you what you want right away because He's still shaping you to handle it. You can't rush destiny. You've got to stop running from the hard parts. Stop avoiding discomfort. Stop searching for shortcuts. The longer route is where you learn patience, humility, and grit, and those are the things that keep you standing when life tries to knock you down again. Because the truth is, life will keep testing you until it's sure you've learned what you need to know. You might feel lost right now. You might be tired, but you're not defeated. You're just in training. Every rep of pain is building your endurance. Every challenge is preparing you for something greater. And the day will come when you'll stand on top of the mountain you once thought was impossible to climb. You'll smile, not because it was easy, but because you didn't give up when it was hard. You can't control how fast success comes, but you can control how you show up every day. You can control your attitude, your effort, your mindset. You can control how you respond when things don't go your way. And that response, that's what defines your future. Don't let the struggle make you bitter. Let it make you better. Remember, this growth hurts because you're shedding the parts of you that can't go where you're headed. Every version of success requires a new version of you. You can't take your old habits, your old mindset, your old fears into your next chapter. You've got to leave them behind. So, when life gets tough, don't say, "Why me?" Say, "Try me." Let the struggle build you, not break you. Stand tall in the storm. Keep your faith, keep your focus, keep your fire. Because the same pain that tests you today will be the story that inspires someone tomorrow. You are stronger than you think. You've survived things you thought would destroy you. You've gotten back up when it didn't make sense to. That's proof that there's something powerful inside you, something that refuses to quit. And as long as that fire's still burning, as long as you keep showing up, you're still in the game. The struggle isn't your enemy, it's your training ground. It's where you earn your strength, your wisdom, your confidence. So, embrace it, endure it, learn from it, because when the storm passes, and you won't just be standing, you'll be stronger than ever. There comes a moment when everything you fought for starts to make sense. Not because life suddenly got easy, but because you finally became strong enough to handle it. That's the breakthrough. That's when you stop chasing validation and start chasing purpose. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start saying, "This is happening for me." Because every failure, every disappointment, every long, lonely night, it was all preparing you for this version of yourself. See, the breakthrough doesn't come when you're comfortable. It doesn't show up with applause or celebration. It comes quietly, in the middle of your consistency, when you've been showing up for so long that the universe has no choice but to respond. It's not about luck, it's about persistence. It's not about talent, it's about refusing to quit when it would have been easier to. Most people give up right before the miracle happens, right before the door opens. They let the weight of time convince them that their effort isn't working. But let me tell you, just because you can't see the growth doesn't mean it's not happening. Some of the most important transformations happen underground, unseen, silent. You've just got to keep the faith while you're waiting. You've come too far to stop now. You've been through too much to turn back. You didn't fight all those battles just to give up before the victory. You've got to believe that all this pain had a purpose. Because it did. Every heartbreak, every delay, every loss, it was carving something out of you. It was teaching you patience, humility, strength. It was building the kind of resilience that no easy life could ever give you. One day, you're going to wake up and realize that the version of you who wanted to quit didn't win. The version of you who stayed the course, that's the one who made it. That's the one who earned the peace, the success, the life you prayed for. You'll realize that the pain was never punishment, it was preparation. The waiting wasn't wasted, it was working. You were being shaped, molded, refined. See, you don't get the reward before the work. You don't get the crown without carrying the weight. But once you push through, once you reach that other side, you start to move differently. You start to speak with a quiet confidence because you know what it took to get here. You don't brag about your success, you're grateful for it. You don't compare your journey to anyone else's because you finally understand what's meant for you will never miss you. And that's the real breakthrough, peace. Not just success, not just achievements, but peace. That feeling when you no longer need to prove anything to anyone. When you wake up knowing you've become the kind of person you always wanted to be. That's what all this discipline and struggle were for. It wasn't just about building a career or a body or a reputation. It was about building you. Every lesson, every fall, every comeback, it all created something inside you that can't be bought or taught. Strength, perspective, gratitude. You start to appreciate the things you used to take for granted. The quiet mornings, the small wins, the progress that once felt invisible. You stop rushing through life because you realize the process was the point. And here's the thing. Once you've been through real struggle, you stop being afraid of hard times. You know you can handle them. You stop doubting your ability to rise again because you've done it before. That's freedom. When you realize no failure can break you anymore, no delay can defeat you. You become unstoppable, not because you'll never fall again, but because now you know how to rise. There's power in that kind of self-belief. It's not arrogance, it's faith. Faith in your work, faith in your purpose, faith in the process. You start to trust that even when things don't go your way, they're still going your way. Because the path to greatness is never straight. It's full of detours, delays, and disappointments. But every turn has meaning. Every setback was setting you up. When you understand that, your whole energy shifts. You stop chasing things that don't align with your growth. You stop begging for people to stay who were never meant to walk your full path. You stop forcing what isn't meant for you. You learn to let go with peace. Because now you know what's truly yours will find you when you're ready for it. You see, improvement isn't about grinding yourself into exhaustion. It's about evolving into someone who doesn't need to be reminded of their worth. The goal isn't just to succeed, it's to transform. To wake up one day and say, I may not be where I want to be yet, but I'm not who I used to be. That's progress. That's victory. And don't let anyone fool you. Your breakthrough doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't need to go viral. Sometimes it's quiet. It's peace after chaos. It's confidence after doubt. It's finally looking in the mirror and saying, I'm proud of me. That's success. That's growth. There will always be another mountain to climb, another challenge to face. But once you've made it through your darkest moments, you realize you're built for this. You stop fearing the climb because you've already survived the fall. You stop running from hard things because you know that pressure creates diamonds. You start to embrace the process because you trust where it's taking you. So if you're in that season where it feels like nothing's working, keep going. If you're tired, keep going. If you're doubting yourself, keep going. Because your time is coming. The same way the night eventually gives way to dawn, your breakthrough will arrive. Not a moment too soon, not a moment too late, right on time. And when it does, you'll understand why it took so long. You'll understand why you had to lose certain people, why you had to face those battles, why you had to struggle in silence. It was all preparing you to handle the blessing without breaking under its weight. Because blessings require strength too. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're just being prepared. The universe, God, whatever you believe in, it's aligning things for you. It's waiting for you to become the person who can carry what's meant for you. That's the breakthrough, not the reward, but the readiness. So don't stop. Don't slow down. Keep working on yourself. Keep showing up when no one claps. Keep believing when no one else does. Because one day, everything you prayed for will meet everything you've prepared for. And that's when it all changes. Your breakthrough isn't somewhere far ahead. It's being built right now, in your persistence, in your resilience, in your refusal to give up. Keep going. Keep believing, keep improving. Because one day soon, you'll look back and realize that every step, every tear, every sacrifice, it was leading you right here. Life has a way of teaching us through moments we don't understand at first. The heartbreaks, the failures, the quiet nights when you're alone with your thoughts, they all seem meaningless while you're in them. But later, when you look back, you realize every single thing was connected. Every challenge built your strength. Every delay shaped your patience. Every fall taught you how to rise. Nothing was wasted. And that's what I want you to remember when the days feel heavy. You're not stuck, you're not lost, you're becoming. Every single day that you choose to keep going, to improve just a little, you're creating a better version of yourself. Maybe you don't see it right now, but one day you will. You'll look back at this season of your life and say, that's where I changed. That's where I started building my future. You don't have to have it all figured out today. Nobody does. You just need the courage to take the next step. That's it. One small action, one honest effort, one more reason to believe in yourself when nobody else does. Because your life isn't going to change in one big moment. It's going to change quietly through small choices that you make over and over again. Wake up a little earlier. Be kinder to yourself. Say no to the things that drain you. Be grateful for what you already have while working for what you want. Protect your peace, your energy, your vision, because they're worth more than anything the world can offer. And don't forget, you are capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for. You've already survived things that would have broken others. You've already proven that you can rise after being knocked down. So don't let fear convince you that you can't handle what's next. You can. You will. You already are. There's a future version of you waiting, proud of the person you're becoming right now. The one who didn't give up, who didn't settle, who didn't stop believing. That version of you is built by every single decision you make today. The discipline, the mindset, the consistency. They're all leading you there. So keep your head high. Keep your heart open. Keep your fire alive. Because one day the things that once seemed impossible will be your reality. The dream that once felt too far away will be your everyday life. And when that day comes, you'll smile, not because it was easy, but because you earned it. You'll understand that the pain was never meant to stop you. It was meant to prepare you. So take a deep breath. Let go of the past. Forgive yourself for what you didn't know before. And step into the life you're meant to live. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. Don't wait for someone to believe in you. Believe in yourself first. Because in the end, success isn't about what you have. It's about who you become. It's about the quiet confidence of knowing you showed up every day, even when it was hard. It's about the peace that comes from knowing you gave it your all. So keep going. Keep improving. Keep believing. Your story isn't over. It's just getting started. And I promise you, if you stay disciplined, if you stay faithful, if you never stop growing, you'll become everything you were meant to be. The world will see the results one day. But you'll feel the change long before that. Because the real success, the real victory, it happens inside you first. And that's where the journey always begins, and where it beautifully never ends.